Hi, my name's Fraser, and today we're going to take a journey through colours. Let's get started. So let's find out what this talk is all about. First of all, we're going to look at the fact that there's no rules when it comes to colours. Then we're going to look at the male and female preferences. Then we'll do a deep dive into colours. We're looking at red, orange, yellow, blue, purple and white, which are the main chakras. But we're also going to look at black. Then we're going to follow that with a look at the energy and colours of your name, and finish off with a goddess of many colours meditation. So let's get started. There's no such thing as one size fits all when it comes to colours. We all have our own personal preferences. During our upbringing, we have memories and we create history, and that very much depends on what our preferences on colours there. It also depends on your zodiac. Your zodiac has some influence on the colours that you like. It depends on the season of the year, so you wouldn't be wearing shorts and a t-shirt in the middle of winter. Well, certainly not in the UK. It depends on your gender and also your cultural differences. And as you can see on this slide here, there are definite male and female preferences. Men prefer bright colours, whereas women prefer much softer colours. Following on from the last slide, you can see here there's a definite difference between how men and women see colours. You can see here the man looking quite differently at colours there. He sees red, purple, pink, orange, whereas a woman will see things like magenta and plum and lemon and sky blue. There's a big difference, and obviously they're a lot softer as well, so it's quite interesting. So now let's dive into colour meanings. What do the colours mean when we look at a particular colour? So let's start with the first colour, red, the first chakra or root chakra. This is to do with tribe and survival. Stability, it's a very emotional colour. The Buddha said it's about wisdom, virtue and dignity, and it's a colour that really does attract attention. So if you want to attract red into your life, you can use things like apples and strawberries and cherries. So let's look at red in a little bit more detail. As I said before, red is our base chakra. It's our first chakra. It's known as the root chakra. It corresponds to our tribe. When we meet someone for the first time, we often ask, where are you from? You want to know if they're from your tribe. This is the root chakra. It's the survival aspect. Your first chakra, as I mentioned, has everything to do with survival, with your country, your tribe. It's racial, it's your sense of belonging, the beliefs that you have, whether or not you want to leave, a legacy behind. It's also to do with war, violence, weapons, that sort of thing. And it's very much a chakra that our second and third chakras rely on. Red is inherently an emotional colour, vibrating from the deepest reaches of our heart. Red is linked with every emotion we feel, and with red we generally feel our emotions more strongly. It's commonly associated with love, sexuality and emotional joy. It's a classic romantic colour, red roses, red hearts. But it's also associated with fire or danger. For example, you hear the phrase seeing red, which indicates anger. Red is a colour that naturally attracts the most attention. So it's the best colour for when we want to connect with others emotionally. It's useful when we want to relate to people and also when we want to connect with our own emotional body. The secret to a healthy relationship with our emotions is learning when and how deeply to access them. So as you activate red, you'll be exploring your relationship to the profound world of emotions. This colour will help you see the energy exchange you have in various aspects of your life. The shadow side of red is usually represented by being oversensitive, but it can also show up as being insensitive or disconnected. Red is about developing communication with our moods and emotional levels. The shadow side of red is a reminder for you to gauge your emotions and make the adjustments that will help your heart feel balanced. You might need to pull back emotionally on occasion. So sometimes what's considered needy is your desire for emotional validation. If this is the case, red will often help you acknowledge if you're ignoring your innate emotional intelligence. Balancing red energy will also help you carve out space in your life to ensure you have the opportunity to connect with your emotions and get things off your chest, so to speak. Now, I also see red as very homely. It's stability. It's about grounding ourselves. It's about making sure that perhaps things fit in the box. It's we can use red when we need to actually focus on things. We need to create like the foundations, the roots for things in order to build on other things. And I think that's very, very much red. Now, you can use red to guide you in finding opportunities all around you. So what kind of things can we use if we want to incorporate red into our daily life? Well, red apples, cherries. You can activate red as you eat it, displayed in a bowl, a visual, touchable reminder. Red lips, cosmetics, nails. They're a fun way to incorporate red energy throughout the day. What about red socks or tights? You can use those as a colour prop to check in with your emotions at any time throughout the day. So you can see on these pictures here, there's a lady in a red dress which looks like a wedding dress. There's a fashion model there, there's a rapper in red, a young girl in a red t-shirt, and of course one of the most famous people that wears red is Father Christmas or Santa Claus or Saint Nicholas, depending on which country you're from. So there's some examples of people wearing red. So now let's move on to orange. Orange is the second or sacral chakra. It's also known as the navel chakra. It's to do with relationship with others. It's about balance and perception. It's also to do with uneven and scattered energy. And it's the easiest colour to perceive on land or water. Props we've got here: turmeric, oranges and carrots. So let's look at orange in a little more detail. So as I said before, it's the second chakra, the sacral or navel chakra, and it has to do with relationships we have with other people. It's to do with control and power, and it follows on from red. We'll often ask people, what do you do for a living? We want to know if you can have a friendship with a person. In the second chakra, we also have sexuality. This is where food, gluttony, money, greed, and relationships with others lie. This is also where power and control lie. Orange helps us to balance aspects of our intuitive sense to the highest possible level. If you feel scattered or overextended in your life, look no further than orange. Orange is the colour that helps us reconcile our inner imbalance so we can find a state of harmony. Visually, orange is the easiest colour to perceive on land or water. Astronaut uniforms are usually orange due to the fact that they are the easiest to perceive in space. Orange represents balance of all things, and most importantly, it highlights the balance between psychology and spirituality. Some say it's the colour of psychic abilities or intuition. When we close our eyes to ground orange energy through our body, it is naturally balancing and soothing. The shadow side of orange is witnessed in uneven or scattered energy. It usually results in issues like struggling to be on time for appointments. You may even find difficulty finding things where you've left them before in your home or your workplace. If you have scattered or uneven energy, some elements of your life are taking too much of your focus. You may be overcommitting to something or not fully committed to honouring your centre. By activating the orange light, you'll be identifying what areas of your life are currently in the steering position. Be aware that if you are struggling with the shadow side of orange, you may feel overwhelmed without the time to create the balance that you need right now. As you expand and work with orange, it reminds you to also tend to other parts of your life and engage with everything in order to create a sense of balance and happiness. So what orange props can we use, incorporate them into our lives? Well, dried leaves. In the autumn or fall, collect some orange leaves and dry them so that you can display them all year round. Turmeric's a really great orange prop, dried or fresh. Now, aside from providing balance in orange energy, it's also excellent for reducing all kinds of inflammation and restoring balance to your immune system. What about oranges? A bag of oranges or tangerines even. Carrots, they're a healthy snack and they're one of the most vibrant shades of orange in nature. So let's look at some people wearing orange. So the first picture we see here is it looks like again like a bride or a bridesmaid in a fabulous orange colour dress. You can also see here a selection of dresses being worn by two different models. There's the famous orange gel suits, a Buddhist monk in traditional orange robe, and also the astronaut with his orange suit on, which, as we said before, is one of the only colours that's visible in space. So let's now look at the third chakra. The third chakra is yellow, or the solar plexus chakra. It's about our relationship with ourselves. It's about wisdom and knowledge. Zodiac-wise, Leo and Gemini are both related to the colour. And we've got the bottom here, lemons, bananas and grapefruit. So let's look at this colour in a little more detail. As I said a minute ago, yellow is the third chakra. It's the solar plexus chakra. It has to do with the relationship we have with ourselves. This is about our self-identity. This is where we have our confidence and self-esteem. It's our ability to keep secrets or to gossip. And this is also where jealousy lies. Now, the third chakra is where you share personal information with the person you've just met. You often hear people say, I'm a vegan, I'm self-employed, I do this. Yellow represents fire, confidence and self-esteem. We often associate a happy smiley face with yellow, and as well as the sun and sunflowers. Yellow makes a statement of look at me and watch me. We use yellow for rescue helicopters and emergency ambulances. Yellow is a fire element, and physically it's about our solar plexus, our spleen, our pancreas. Leo is a bright yellow. Gemini is a pale yellow. If we have excessive yellow energy, it's about domineering, blaming, being aggressive, flighty or hyperactive. If you're deficient in yellow, you might have a weak will or poor self-esteem. You're quite likely to be submissive or sluggish, even a lack of trust in yourself. However, when you balance your third chakras, you're confident, you've got lots of self-esteem. You do the right things and you have healthy boundaries. You take responsibility, you're disciplined and you have a sense of belonging. But for me, yellow is also about wisdom and knowledge. I see yellow as a very intellectual colour. I often associate people that are fascinated with subjects and they want to learn more, and they immerse themselves in knowledge, whether it be videos or webinars or podcasts or anything. That's very much, as soon as I see people have that thirst, I see yellow all around them. Now, okay, so if we want to incorporate yellow into our life, what props can we use? Well, as I said before, lemons, bananas, melons, summer squash, grapefruit, and even mango. So let's look at some yellow colours and people wearing them. Here we see a lady in a yellow sari, and there's a lady again on there with a what looks like to be a fashion show, but it looks also like a flamenco dancer. There's a lady in a yellow suit, very bright. On the male side, we see Wolverine, and there's a man in a yellow coat, a young man in a yellow t-shirt, and also we see something that's been quite prevalent recently: a man in a yellow, perhaps like a hazard suit with a face mask on. So that gives you some examples of yellow colours, yellow clothes. So let's look at the next colour now. And we move on to green, which is the fourth chakra, or heart chakra. This is about emotions. It's about healing. It's about communication and creativity. Green is about enthusiasm. It's a change in life force. If you have too much green, it can be hyperactive, anxiety, poor health. Props in our life are plants, grapes, spinach and broccoli. So as I said before, green is the fourth chakra. It's the heart chakra. It has everything to do with our emotions. It's to do with connection, possibly suffering. When you get past the first, second and third chakras, you're going to share something personal of your story. You're going to tell people, this is what happened to me. You're sharing a piece of your own personal life so that other person can make a connection to you. The moment we rise past the first, second and third chakras and into the fourth, we've got the possibility of a potential new friend. If we can't get past the first, second and third chakra, and there's a communication problem right there, because the person doesn't fit in our tribe, because they're going to do something that we don't really understand, and it's very unlikely in that case there's going to be a friendship. Green is all about healing. It's about nature. It's about heart. When I see green around people, sometimes it means they're very much the carer. They're the one that look after other people. They're the one that makes sure that everybody else is happy and content, and when everybody's sad, they're the person that they go to. But it often also means that that person doesn't look after themselves. I associate green very much with nature and the green man, and it's something that, very true to my heart. Green is also about communication and creativity. It's about enthusiasm and change and life force. If we don't have enough green, it's about blocked self-expression, hyperactivity, anxiety, and again, poor health. On the communication front, green will help clear any misunderstandings in our relationships and allows us to find the perfect words to express ourselves. A little bit about the next colour as well. And culturally, green is associated with the freedom to move forward. Green traffic lights are internationally recognised as the sign to move forward, and having a green thumb indicates a natural ability to make plants grow. Green can stimulate desire to create from the soul, and that process is not complete until we have a tangible expression of our creativity. You can use green to stimulate possibilities and solutions that might not otherwise come to you as easily. Another welcome effect of green is that it helps us to reduce stress and feel relaxed. Shadow side of green is block creativity and communication. If you find yourself saying, I'm not creative or I've nothing to share in the world, you're possibly dealing with the shadow side of green. It fools us into thinking our unique voice is not worthy of being heard. So what can we use if we want to bring green back into our life? Well, as I said before, plants. What better way to invoke green energy than to keep a green plant in our home? We can also put it on the computer background. If we need to do any kind of writing, you just set your computer background to something green. Green notebook. As I said before, because it's all about expression, use a green notebook and hold your ideas and creative thoughts there. And what about some green fruit and veg? Grapes, spinach, broccoli, or even cucumber. So let's look at some people wearing green. So you can see here there's a lady in a green dress. There's a lady in a green t-shirt. Looks like something to do with the army. And down the bottom you see there's 4 ladies there in green army uniforms. So it's very much associated with that side. But you also see an Asian lady in a green, well, not sari, but a green skirt. Again, very, very attractive. There's a man in a green suit and also a man in a green jacket. Green's also associated with leprechauns and 4-leaf clovers. And I've mentioned before, this is a green man, so it's very much about nature and loving and healing. Okay, so now let's look at the next colour. So now we're moving up to the 5th chakra. And this is our throat chakra. It's to do with communication, expression. We have there Amum, Vishnu and Blue Nazar. It's very much about truth and wisdom. It's about avoidance, fear or defeat. But to me, it's also about being like the water. Blue props are blueberries and blue quartz crystals. So let's look more in depth at blue. Blue is the 5th chakra. It's the throat chakra, and it has everything to do with communication and being heard. The 5th chakra has everything to do with our will and our expression, and it's where we decide whether or not you're going to be a leader or a follower. It's where we get heard. It's where we get to be expressing who we are. And it's one of the most important chakras to communicate our personality and our spirit to the world. Working with blue is like taking a shot of energetic truth serum. It provides us with a resolve to speak our mind in an authentic and meaningful way. Blue helps remove any possible denial we may experience when it comes to seeing others for who they truly are, as opposed to what we really want them to be. Blue has been known as a fidelity of marriage. We take vows to be true to each other. Brides often wear something blue as a traditional sign of loyalty. When speaking at live events, people often wear blue because it signifies the intention to be a conduit for truthful guidance. But what about the shadow side of blue? The shadow side of blue is all about fear of truth. An imbalance of blue typically manifests as a refusal to accept the reality of a situation. It can also show up as a deception, that uneasy feeling that someone is lying to us, or the guilt we feel when lying to someone else. It's a classic sign of blue imbalance. No matter the situation, the shadow side of blue is a struggle when it comes to facing the truth of any situation. By activating blue, it will bring out the truth, but if this area is out of balance, it will also highlight how fear plays a role in our lives. This is why blue can be prickly for people to activate, but it does give us power to unlock our cage of denial or soar into exhilarating freedom of truth. Any struggles you currently face are just lessons that, perhaps the universe wants us to learn. You're going to learn this lesson sooner or later. Blue energy just speeds up that process. Blue teaches us to go beneath the surface, to dig up the words of denial. Once we do this, the truth nourishes our spiritual garden and allows wisdom to flourish. Now, I also mentioned before about being like the water. Water is blue, and I always see people analogy of water, and they're being fluid, being able to talk. Sometimes water can go different ways, and if it doesn't like the way it's going, it goes back. If there's a real big problem with water, sometimes water will just take eons to go through a rock, and it will take its time, and it will just be patient. Or water can be very forceful, rapid. It's sometimes what happens with people is when they get angry or they need to speak the truth, they burst through the rocks, and it's so it's a very powerful colour as well. And so I always say to people, be like the water, be fluid, go around the rocks, don't try and go through them. Right? It's very true quite often. So if there's an imbalance in blue, what kind of colour props can we use for blue? Well, blueberries. It's a bounty of natural produce. It's a beautiful way for our body to literally absorb the power of the colour. Blue crystal quartz. These are perfect colour prop to help you find out the truth of any situation. What about a blue dress shirt? Classy and easy way to incorporate blue. Now this slide shows people in blue. So again, there's a lady in a blue suit, a lady in a blue dress, two different types of blue dresses. It's also famous for blue suits and, of course, blue jeans. There's just a few examples of how we use blue in everyday life. So let's move on to our next colour. Let's look at the sixth chakra. So the sixth chakra is our brow chakra. Some people say it's violet, indigo. It's a purple. We're looking at the seventh chakra, but we'll look at that separately. A lot of people say it's violet, but for me it's about white, and that's our crown chakra. It's our spiritual journey, meditation. Purple has leadership qualities. It's about destiny and purpose. And props for purple are purple flowers and amethyst. Let's look at purple a little more deeply now. So as I mentioned, to me, purple or violet or indigo is the brow chakra. It has to do with our vision and our intellect. It's about our reality or illusion. It's the power of the mind, intellect, reasoning ability. So the sixth chakra is our vision chakra. This is our third eye. It's between our eyebrows, and it's where you use your own intellect. It's where you communicate your reality, or it's also where illusion sits. It's the power of the mind, and this is where our reasonability sits, and it's an extremely important chakra. Now when we look at the colour purple, it has a long worldwide association with leadership energy. It's a colour that we can turn to when we want to feel self-assured and confident in our decisions. Purple's a useful colour if you're grappling with finding your purpose. You can use purple to meditate on your purpose and bring clarity. Working with purple energy helps us to find our soul's destiny and discover what makes us feel connected to our true self. There's an illusion that our destiny is connected to our career. For some this can be true, but our destiny and purpose are multifaceted. When you activate purple, people see a side of you that's most connected to your destiny. Leadership quality and energy exist in all of us, but we might not know how to draw the connection between leadership and our purpose if we're not looking for it. When we use purple, it turns up the volume on this energy, and it can quite often help us find our way and who we are and why we're here. The darker side or shadow side of purple is a lack of direction and chronic indecisiveness. The main sign of purple imbalance is hesitating to make decisions. So if you find yourself constantly struggling with choices, big or small, then you know it might be a purple imbalance. The good news is that you can easily work on healing that imbalance by making quicker decisions. Activate purple however you like, and then start with the smallest decisions possible. So what kind of purple props can we use in our daily life? Well, purple flowers. These are particularly beautiful. Snapdragons, verbena, pansies, a few glorious purple flowers. What about aubergine? Amethyst. Purple accessories. Purple's a great colour to wear with work situations. Applying for a new job, have a presentation, or any reason you need to command authority and power. You can use purple as a colour prop to invoke that energy. So let's look at some people wearing purple. So you see here again a lady in a sari, young girls in different types of purple dresses. There's also some purple bridesmaids. If you look on the purple side for the males, you've got purple suits there, and one of the most famous people in purple was Prince, with Purple Rain. And you've also got there the Joker. So let's look at the 7th chakra. And the 7th chakra for me is very much about white. So let's talk about white. You see the overview of white here. As I say before, 7th chakra for me, it's about truth. It's the path to high harmony. Doctors and yogis wear white. The yin energy is about spiritual cleansing and clarity, whereas the yang energy is about sense of overwhelm. White has the ability to neutralize and balance every aspect of our own being. So let's look at it more deeply now. How can white help you in your own life? White's often known for showing light, truth, the path to high harmony. It gives a person grace, a definition of higher meaning, and even world harmony. If you were to look at the colours and what white's made up of, you'd find it's actually composed of many colours within our own visible spectrum. In that sense, white contains a balanced combination of every other colour's traits. I heard that writers will often wear white before putting pen to paper in order to clear their minds and share their own thoughts. But what does the colour white actually symbolise? Well, as you can imagine, there's a yin and a yang to the energy of white, both positive and negative to balance each other out. On the positive side, white is known to promote both spiritual cleansing and clarity, whilst on the negative or shadow side, white can be that sense of overwhelm in your life where too much is going on. You may well end up feeling overwhelmed by responsibility or just have difficulty in releasing your own clutter. For many of us, white is known as the all-purpose cleaner, providing a burst of spirituality and clarity. It has the ability to neutralise and balance every aspect of our own being. White shines brightly and has an extremely high vibration. Imagine yourself walking into a dark, cluttered room. You know you need to clear out some of it, but in the dark it's hard to pick out what. Turning on the light, you can see exactly what can be kept and those things that need to be cleared. The same way as walking into a cluttered room, white will illuminate those parts of our own being that need attention at this moment in time, as well as those things which can be released. And white's the most commonly associated colour with cleanliness, new beginnings and the greater good. When I think of white, I get a sense that it's all about creating a fresh start in whatever area we choose to focus on. It represents a new chapter and a new set of intentions, creating a sense of clarity in our lives. But what happens when we are overstimulated by those things around us? When the noise and pressure we and other people put on ourselves, what happens then? It's easy to get lost multitasking. Job, family obligations, bills, own expectations, and even our health can take up our emotional space. This is when we really notice an imbalance of white in our lives, and it often occurs if you've been neglecting your own needs or not engaging in any kind of spiritual practice. You may well have been stuck in negativity or in limiting thoughts due to your own personal life circumstances. However, as I mentioned before, white has the ability to calm us down. It's like giving ourselves a much needed reboot. So before we enter any spiritual state of mind, we need to organise and clear our own energy, in a sense bringing in the white light. By activating the colour white, we focus on unifying our thoughts, clearing our emotional field and optimising our energy. We're clearing out consciousness and reminding ourselves that at our core we're all spiritual beings. Cleansing with white light doesn't mean that you have dirty or unclean energy, it just means it's time to cleanse or clear. It's times like this that we can benefit from the colour white and using it to refocus our energy into a more neutral space, just like having an energetic shower. Working regularly with white, you're able to quickly return to the most honest and balanced version of yourself. True self before your energy was swayed by people or situations in your life. White unifies our intentions so you can file away any distracting elements of your life and refocus on your core. But what if you're feeling overwhelmed or just need some form of clarity? Put something white on. Even wearing white jewellery will help. If you have nothing to wear that's white, look at how many things that are around you that are white. Flowers, walls, Be proactive in balancing your own white energy by taking some time out for yourself. Do something you love, something you enjoy, and allow yourself to be brought back into harmony. Take the time to step into your own power, take a moment to stop, to breathe, and let the white energy flow through and around you. Allow it to bring calmness and clarity within. Unlike other colours, white's one of the only colours that has no real shade. Off-white is not the same as white, but light blue is still blue. And what about other colours you can wear with white? What's going to happen when you wear or work with another colour? And so now that's a little bit about white. Let's look at some people wearing white. We see here a woman in a white wedding dress. To a lady in a white suit, a white dress. There's a man in a white linen suit. Again, very stunning. It's also been used for, like, they see the Pope there in white, a christening and a yogi. And there's a man there in a white t-shirt. So again, it's quite a striking colour and very easy to get hold of, and we use it all the time. So let's go on to our final colour, which is black. Some people say that black has an absence of all colours, but it's the most worn colour for business. For me, it embodies all colours in one. The positive side, it's dignified and it has a mystical, elegant feel. But it also can be scary or inhibiting, and scrying mirrors, for example, people get frightened by them. For me, it's normal. We can use blackberries and black currants, for example. So let's look at black in a little bit more depth. Black's an important colour, although many don't call it a colour at all, and yet it's the most worn colour for important business meetings, black tie events and more. Black's often been called a colour absent of all colour, the dark abyss, absent of all light. But grooms wear black suits. Most business people wear black suits as well, and black is an amazing colour and definitely has a lot to communicate with the world. Now, as I mentioned a minute ago, black is perhaps the most worn colour, especially when it comes to business, formal parties or dinners. Men often wear black on their wedding day. Some people say that black should be, why should it be considered a colour at all? Well, to me, black embodies all colours in one, and so it has the complete absence of white, but I disagree. There's much to be said about its effects, its positive and beneficial sides, and of course its scary or inhibiting influence on our overall well-being. Black's a heavy colour and it has intense energy. It's the colour that says this close but not too close, keeping people at arm's length. At the same time, black has been known to be the colour of protection. People who wear black often want to hide away in the background because they might be shy, or they've got no self-esteem, or they lack confidence. Black can definitely assist you in helping reduce stress from the external world. Some people believe that black creates a shield, a wall, or some kind of barrier between that person and the external world. Black can also be used to encourage us to see the darker things in life. There's a skill called scrying, where you scry with a black onyx scrying mirror. Some people use it to see darker sides of a situation or look into a person's soul. It's something that I have done and I learned when I was in London. It's fairly easy to do, but it takes a lot of time and patience and practice, and it's not something you should do lightly. Because black is a very powerful, intense colour and can result in there being an aura of mystery around people. This may work to your advantage, or it might even backfire because it may cause us to keep things inside or even bottle things up. Now remember, because black's such a powerful colour, it can also be intimidating to others and therefore block conversation between you and other people. If on the other hand you're looking for collaboration and cooperation, then perhaps you shouldn't be wearing black. Don't forget, everything in the dark must eventually come to see the light. So the opposite of black is white, and all opposites attract. Explanation of the colour black is probably one of the most lengthy ones because many of us wear black every day. We spend 50% of the time in the dark with our eyes closed. Black is an important aspect of life and death. Don't underestimate its power. So what black props could we use in our daily life? As I said before, blackberries, black currants, black clothes, black suits, black trousers, black dresses. Let's now move on. So now let's look at people wearing black. So you've got down the bottom there's a lady in a black dress, obviously a model with a black flowing dress. There's another lady with a black jacket on, and a young girl with a black dress on as well. And going over to the men, you've got the man in what looks to be black tie. Then there's a man in a black business suit, and somebody in black jeans as well. And as we mentioned before, you've also got looks like a funeral there with people wearing black to show respect. So there's many aspects of black. This next slide shows here the energy and colours of your name. So all names have energy, and all the energy has colours. So in this sense, what we're doing is we're tying the numerology numbers to colours. We see here red is love and willpower, yellow is intellectual power. So before, again, I mentioned about intellect and wisdom on yellow. Green, self-control. Indigo, integration. Opal, understanding of life. So there's a lot of different things. So when we look at someone's name, we can actually associate colours to that name, and usually there's one colour that is more dominant than others. So it'll be interesting to see what your names are. Now let's now move on to the next slide. So this is now a colour meditation, and this is called the Goddess of Many Colours. So sit back, close your eyes, and enjoy for the next few minutes. This meditation is called the Goddess of Many Colours. Sit comfortably on your chair, relax and close your eyes. Imagine your feet growing roots, and imagine them going deep, deep into the earth, through the ground until they reach the centre of the earth. You can see a huge crystal glowing brightly, full of earth energy, waiting to help and assist you. Anchor your roots into the crystal and feel its power flowing through you as you sit in silence. Imagine a blue colour coming from the base of your spine, travelling down through the earth, down, 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 until you reach your anchor and you see the crystal again. Let your blue colour attach itself to the rocks, helping you to stay grounded throughout this time. Bring the energy from the crystal up through your roots into your first chakra, your root chakra, located at the base of your spine. Imagine the colour red opening up like the petals of a beautiful red flower. Sit quietly for a minute. Follow the energy back down to the crystal, and then bring the energy back up slowly through the red of your root chakra, up to the orange of your sacral chakra, your dantian, just below your belly button. Imagine a beautiful orange flower opening its petals until it's fully opened. Feel the power of the orange energy smoothly flowing through and around you. Move from the orange of your sacral chakra up to the yellow of your third chakra. This is your solar plexus, located just above your belly button. Imagine its yellow petals opening up like the colour of the sun on a bright, sunny, warm day. Take a moment to enjoy its yellow energy. Move up to the pink and green of your fourth chakra. This is your heart chakra. In your mind's eye, see pink and green flowers slowly opening up. Allow your chakra to open fully. Sit and allow its energy to fully immerse you. Continue to move the energy up your body to the blue of your fifth chakra. This is your throat chakra. Imagine a flower the colour of a bright blue, cloudless sky. Let it fully open. Continuing up your body to your sixth chakra. This is your third eye chakra, right between your eyebrows. It is a beautiful purple. Imagine a beautiful purple flower opening up fully. As you sit quietly, allow the energy to flow through and around you. As you bring the energy to the top of your head, to your seventh chakra or your crown chakra, imagine a beautiful white flower opening up fully. Allow its white light to surround you and enjoy the experience. Imagine yourself in front of a grove of trees. You slowly start walking towards them. Your feet are bare and there's grass under your feet. You can see little flowers of all different colours dotted in and around the grass. You see a large clearing in the middle of the grove. Allow yourself to go and sit on the grass and enjoy the scenery. In front of you is a large lake, and the sunlight dances over it, producing a pocket of beautiful colours wherever you look. You sit relaxed for a while, enjoying the beautiful sight in front of you, enjoying the peace and quiet this time brings. It's time to slow down and to allow your body to rest for a while. As you continue looking at the water, from the corner of your eye, you notice a woman in a long, flowing white dress. She's a beautiful goddess with long, white, flowing hair. She smiles as she sees you. She comes towards you wearing what looks to be a white dress. As she approaches, you notice it shimmers in the light breeze and from the way she walks. Getting closer and closer, you notice that both the dress and her hair are sparkly as light bounces off them both. You can pick out many different colours: reds, yellows, purples, and all the colours of the rainbow. It's both a beautiful and unusual sight. She smiles at you and sits down beside you. You both sit and enjoy the silence together for a moment, listening to the rustling of the leaves in the trees, smelling the fresh flowers and hearing the sounds of nature all around you. You have a little conversation about the sights and sounds before you. She has a beautiful, calming, colourful energy which radiates all around you. She turns towards you. She's holding a ball of light which she gives to you. Notice its colour. How does it feel? Is it heavy or light? Does it have a vibration? This is your colour ray for today. This is the colour that you need today to help you with whatever worries or troubles you may have, and help to wash them all away. This light gives you strength and courage. It gives you all the nourishment you and your body need right now. You hold this ball of light close to you as it envelops you in its light. You feel warm and safe inside its colour ray. You are happy and content. Turn around to thank her, only to find she has walked away silently. You see her in the distance and she turns back towards you. She smiles, sending you a rainbow of love which fills your heart with joy before disappearing back into the trees. Ball of colour is yours to keep, to call upon whenever you feel you need it most. Standing up, you start to walk back towards the trees from where you came. Your time here is done for today, but you know that you can come back here any time to visit. As you start to bring yourself back to the room, notice your seat beneath you. Imagine your crown chakra closing up tightly. As you follow the energy back down to your third eye chakra, close it up tightly too. Moving back through the green and pink of your heart chakra, notice it closing as the energy passes back through it. Down to the yellow of your solar plexus chakra, closing slowly. The orange of your sacral chakra, closing slowly. And finally, the red of your root chakra, closing slowly. Make sure all your chakras are tightly closed. Open the red of your root chakra just a little bit to allow you to stay grounded for the rest of the day. Unhook the blue light and bring it back up inside your body. Start to bring your roots back from the crystal to the bottom of your feet. Feel your bottom on your chair. Wiggle your fingers. And when you're ready, open your eyes slowly. Thank you for listening to this meditation, and please let me know what colour you received today. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to follow me or get in contact with me, you'll see up on the screen there are the best ways. So the website, it's Facebook, Pinterest, and also YouTube. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much. This is Frasser Beecroft, founder of Spiritual Pathway. Thanks a lot. Speak to you soon.